I want to ask you about something else too, and another story, because we can do this because we're teammates and stuff. So there was this time, and you may not remember this. I hope you do, but there was a time. It was a locker room story. We were at AKA headquarters, and in the locker room, you were in Strike Force, and you were running around, and I think you were telling Bob, but you were so excited because you had, I believe, $40,000 in the bank. It was 30 or it was 40, and you were running around in your towel, and you were so excited. You're like, Bob Cook, I got $40,000 in the bank. You were just so excited about that money, and I remember thinking to myself, you're gonna have so much more money than that one day. You ain't even gonna think about that. Now let me fast forward real fast. So now I'm listening to Talkin' Talker, which is an amazing podcast that you and I want to say this correct, but Nick Swimmern, correct?
Yep.
Y'all do. It's an amazing podcast, and I just heard in the latest podcast that you now have a check for $1 million a month old just sitting in your safe that you haven't even taken to the bank yet.
Is it right behind you?
So how crazy is it to go from being excited about $40,000 in the bank when you were coming up to now having a check for $1 million just sitting in your safe? You ain't even taken it to the bank yet.
I still get excited for any money. See, so I think that's what makes that's what ensures that I'm never going to be broke, is that I still get really excited for little money. So Dwayne and Bob will have appearances, and they'll be like, well, are you even going to do it for this amount of money? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to do it. And they're like, but it's really low. And I'm like, man, it's money. I don't turn down any money, but it was 40 grand. It was when I fought Jeff Munson.
So you remember the story?
I made $40,000, and I was so happy.
So you remember the story then? You remember what I was?
I do. I was running around going, man, I just deposited 40 grand, and I was like, because I'm a wrestler, I'm an old wrestler, man. I used to go win tournaments, and they would give me a $3,000 check. The most money I ever made was, I got fourth in the Olympics, and I got 50 grand over the course of a year. That was the most I'd ever made. So to make $40,000 in 15 minutes was absurd. Now, in regards to the check, so there's a story to these UFC 214 checks, right? So everything that I have gotten from that fight, I haven't deposited because I feel like when I do, everything's final,
right?
In regards to that fight. That's the end of my title reign. That's the end of the fight. That's the end of the rivalry with John Jones.
Right.
That's just, it's so much finality to depositing all this money and being completely done with that part of my career when it's consumed so much of it that I just haven't been able to do it yet. And reality is, if I'm going to do it at some point, there's not, it's 90
days. I hope so. If not, just send that check to me.
We'll cash it.
That?
I hope so. If not, just send that check to me. We'll cash it. We'll give you like a Daniel Cormier section of the gym. It'll be all yours. Your accommodations, a gym, whatever, training facilities.
Yeah.
You better cash that check, man.
You have 90 days, and just man, I put a lot into this, so to be completely done with that whole part of my career and that story it's a big deal to me. So I'm just not mentally there yet.
Right.
So that's why I haven't deposited my UFC 214 checks. Because I still got my sponsorship, Reebok and stuff, and I've got a few things that I need to. I just haven't done because of the finality it would bring to everything that surrounds UFC 214.
Right.
Real quick.